Hey guys, it's Sign here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another comic book review. Today we're looking at Marvel Rivals Hellfire Gala, which is the third Marvel Rivals comic book that's come out. This one's also a $6 book. Actually, this one is a $7 book, whereas the previous one is a $6 book. I'm not really sure why they changed this. I guess it is a thicker book, but this one is by far the least valuable, actually. This one is very, very bad. I did not like it at all. Some of the artwork is kind of interesting, but it's very inconsistent. There's quite a few people that are working on this at the same time. It's not really working out, in my opinion. This was a very, very bad issue. And because these stories are all basically separate, it means that if you dislike one, you might like the other one anyways. So it feels almost like a catch-22 kind of situation where, like, you might miss out on some good stories because you drop the different issues, but you also feel like you should pick up each of them just in case they are good, right? And I'm not really sure how I like that. The next issue should be cheaper again, which is good. It should be a $5 book, or sorry, a $6 book, where this one was $7, which is much better. Hopefully that one is not disappointing. But this one definitely was, right? So it follows a version of the Hellfire Gala where everyone is just hanging out. It's all superheroes, not just the X-Men. And it's being held for multiversal characters, right? But Ultron attacks. He shows up and he starts attacking. And while most of the characters are dealing with him, because he's trying to get to Cerebro so that he can control X-Men, and mutants in general, because this is basically set in a world where the like Krakoa era of X-Men did happen. So they all lived on an island together, like their weird nation state or whatever. And they all had like the resuscitation rituals that they could do so that they never died and they could be brought back to life. And so Ultron wants to get to this version of Cerebro so that he can control the X-Men, right? By owning their genetic makeup, basically, right? And they're dealing with him, whereas Squirrel Girl, Thing, Jeff, and Rocket Raccoon are chilling elsewhere at the beach. And the fight continues on when Ultron starts taking over Cerebro. And this is when infighting starts happening. Captain America is like, no, we got to keep fighting. You guys can't stop. And then Aurora is like, no, we got to kill Ultron, even if it hurts us, right? And, they have a lot of arguments. A lot of it is based on very stupid misunderstandings or kind of like dumb takes on these characters. And so it's not very exciting. So Captain America starts fighting the X-Men, even though they really should be focusing on taking out Ultron. And then basically all of them lose. Ultron gets Cerebro, and then Squirrel Girl, the Thing, and Jeff and Rocket Raccoon show up to beat up Ultron. And they manage to do it quite easily. And overall, it's just not a very good issue or story. It's not really worth $7. It really is a bit of a shame that this was the most expensive out of these when it's really the worst one. It's maybe worth $1, if that. I really think you guys should just skip this one entirely. Get rid of it if you can, and really don't buy it if you haven't bought it yet. The artwork is inconsistent and it kind of sucks, even when it is consistent. It's not worth the $7. The storyline is very convoluted and doesn't really make sense. The infighting, at the moment that they do it, when they really should be focusing on Ultron, is bad storytelling because it feels unlikely to happen. And none of the reasons for any of the characters fighting each other really make sense either. It's all just because it's like, oh, it's a crossover, so we got to fight. But they already did in the first one. And I get that the point of Rivals is this kind of like 6-on-6 PvP kind of battle system, right? But that doesn't mean that the stories have to be that way. Or when they are that way, that they have to make a bit more sense. Because you don't have the structure of the video game to fall back on. You have to actually make it matter and count and make it kind of at least understandable why these characters would fight each other. And in this case, they have some sort of ideological difference, but it doesn't work because I don't even know what the fuck that difference is, right? So it just kind of sucks, right? So that's really all there is to say about this. Don't pick it up. If you did pick it up, what do you think about it? Let me know down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.